Hey guys, so this is going to be my first video discussing this. Actually, I made this channel to be about bringing up certain issues, just my day-to-day life, rawness, and just going through life and all that. And I have discussed a lot about we humans go through life to have certain issues and obviously to overcome it and do something about it, and to go and try our best to use our talents for something, to go and kind of help out the rest of the people. And I think that a lot of our life is about learning to take care of ourselves before we can help out others, because a lot of the time we go through life thinking we should be helping out other people, and so it takes all of our time, and then it goes and we forget about ourselves, and we are constantly in a struggle. So I went and talked about way early when I started out this channel about I see certain issues and that my opinions on how it could be solved. Now, I wanted to do this video for a very long time, but I was afraid that it was not a smart decision because of the career path I was going to go, because everything that I do online is being monitored. And so I ended up not doing it because knowing I would not be able to go online. And I know being online is how you get exposure and how you are seen. And, people are going to have their opinions and their judgments, and that could get you fired. But honestly, at this point, the amount that I make is so worth the risk, because I'm barely making anything. So now I'm just ready to go and say exactly what I've been thinking this entire time, and talking about how I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And when you guys first met me, I was being an entrepreneur. I started off with TikTok and talked about my experience on being an entrepreneur and trying to implement these ideas into the world. But I was having a lot of struggle, a lot of stress. If you have been following me, you would see what I'm talking about. But I just have not done the video because I was scared and all that, because I thought I was gonna have to just do my 9 to 5 and just suck it up, and I wouldn't be able to go online. But you know what, at this point I'm just over it, and I'm just tired of just constantly struggling and doing all the exact layout that I was taught, and it's not even really helping me that much. So now I'm just ready to just say it on what I think and my opinions, and on the routes that I was going. So on here I have a whiteboard, and these things are reminders about what I wanted to say and all that, and maybe certain indicators in the future of what I want to do. But right now I can't do it because I'm focusing on myself, trying it, which my last video was talking about that I need to make sure I need the health care, and get some of the wants that I've been wanting and all that before I go and do the entrepreneurship and all that. So I'm gonna go and talk about where I was headed and my opinions and all that. And I want to do many formats of the same video because I want this message out to people that I'm not sure if this is even the correct way to solve certain issues, but I have thought about it for a very long time. I believe at the age of 7, and then all the way to now and all that. And I've talked about certain traumas that I have gone through, and how I can step out of my body when I need to go and dissociate myself. And I see things more than your average person because of those types of situations. So I was so worried about this video and the judgments that I was going to get, and just probably that I would get fired and all that, but whatever. Like, I feel this is so important to get this message out to people and to go and tell people of my opinions. And so if I'm never able to get there, then at least that this was out, this video, and maybe someone could see things through my lens and see the world the way that I see it, and see the issues if it's never been brought into your life and all that. Because, you know, we focus on our lives and we forget about everybody else. So certain issues, it's never been brought up. So I have gone and thought a lot about on the layout of this video and all that. So this one will not be perfect because this is my first attempt to try to get this message out and say my opinions and my thoughts about the world issues that I see. And you're wondering what in the world, like, can you solve your own issues? Yeah, I mean, we all have issues and all that, but you know, just remind yourself that you're having this issue because you're meant to overcome it, and then you're gonna go and help others overcome that issue. And so I'm still trying to get over there, and you know, I'm trying to get this YouTube up, get that exposure, and you know, improve my life so I can go and do what I've wanted to do, is to go and explore. You know, I talk about exploring life and to see are my opinions and my thought processes about the way people think and all that, is there truth to it? And that's why I feel like I'm here to explore and to see it, like, can I even go and use what I have learned when I step down my body? Can I go and implement it out in the real world? On are these ideas correct? So the first issue that I have seen very, very early on in my life was homelessness. And you know, if you've been following me, yeah, I talk about it a lot and all that. And you know, physically, if you don't know me, I've never been actually to that point in my life, but I have experienced to it sort of in some degree of it. And obviously, we know this is a huge issue. I think everybody knows, and a lot of people turn away and don't give a crap. But it is a big issue. And so I thought a lot about it in my life, and the way possibly it could be helped. Now, not completely solved, because when something is solved, it's always going to be bigger issues no matter what. But at least a portion of it could be solved. So I have certain theories about this this problem, but I am not sure am I correct, because I can't really do it in the time frame that I am right now, currently in the state that I am. So I'm here to go and bring it to attention, have you guys think in a different way and see things through my lens and see, is this even a possibility? So obviously, yeah, it's the homeless issue. So when I started entrepreneurship, at the very beginning, I was doing organizing and cleaning. And at the very beginning, I was pretty successful. I did it as a side hustle. I was not, I didn't really think too much about it and all that, but I was seeing the income, I was seeing the changes. So you're gonna be like, what the heck, that doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna backtrack a bit. So what I have noticed when I started going into people's homes was that when it comes to cleaning, you do regular techniques. There is not really much thought into it and whatnot. But people just like a clean home in general because they feel kind of like they can start over in life. So when I first started entrepreneurship, I was giving out welcome letters and I would say, I am here to go and give you a start over in life, pretty much is what I was saying. Now, for when it comes to organizing, I realized that psychology can be involved, and you can look at people in a psychological way. So normally, what I do, just in general, this is just something that I just do naturally because of my experiences in life, is that I can go and step out of my body, and I can go and kind of look at people from a distance, and I can watch their behaviors. And so I was using psychology in my organizing style. So people that were coming to me were people that were depressed and unhappy with their life, and they would tell me their life story. So I would go and take that information and I would implement it into the organizing style. So if they say they have a certain goal or whatever, then I would go and change their entire environment to go and help them achieve that goal. And so I use my psychology skills that I have picked up based on their behaviors, their personality, and their environment, and I would make sure that they would go and achieve that goal. So let's say you're overweight person, you want to lose weight. So I would go and use my psychology skills, and I would go and organize their fridge in a particular way to make them lose weight, for an example. So I went and helped out many people, and I could see the transformation in people's in their life and their entire atmosphere and all that, and it really completely changed on them, changing their life and all that. And so I was like, I didn't know this skill was very important and all that. So I was seeing the income coming in, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go out on my own without any platform helping me, and I'm gonna go into people's homes and I will do the same thing. But now it's coming out to the public that, which there's a whole article about how I did it and how I use my psychology skills in people's homes. And so I, the things that I've read and stuff like that. So one of my techniques was using the 5 senses. So we humans want to go and be memorable or imprint ourselves onto people. And so I would go in each single room, use the 5 senses, meaning make sure that each room had those things, so that way when I left, they would remember me. So sense of smell, make sure there's a candle, stuff like that. So I would use this, and it honestly, like, I've helped so many people, but being on your own, it was highly stressful. So you're wondering, what in the world, where are you going with this? So what I have figured on this is that I think that a lot of our life is obviously through psychology and the way we organize our place and the way our habits are. So everything that we do are habits, pretty much. Like if you watch people's patterns, you can predict their next habit. So if you're a professional organizer, you are seeing people's habits continuously, and so I would go and predict on what they're going to do. So what I would do to go and change people's mind without them even knowing that they were, was using certain photos, certain words, certain words or certain smells to go and remind them to take them back to a certain place. So if since I was changing people in their mind by certain words, photos, and reminding them of their past self or see them in a future self, I would put certain pictures up to go and have them see themselves in a different light, in the light that I want them to see. And so I went and did that, and seeing that transformation and realizing that a lot of our day-to-day life, our habits, and it has to do with organizing. And honestly, like, we, in our own home, we do bad habits and all that. And what I have realized is that when we do bad habits is because something is bothering us and we can't pinpoint why that is. So if you are a smoker, you smoke cigarettes or something like that, it could be either that you're in a community where you just do that and that's normal. But then it gets to the point where you go and do it every single time you get stressed or something is bothering you or whatever, because it brings in comfort. So it could be food, it could be watching too much TV, it could be obsessing over looks, it could be obsessed with perfection, stuff like that. So this is kind of what I have seen, and I would help people with their habits and change it without them even knowing it, and hearing out their goals. And so this is kind of what I have noticed. And if you look very closely, I'm not wanting to offend anyone. I don't want to be rude or anything, but this is what I have noticed. So there are circumstances in general where it can lead you to homelessness, but also it can be could be bad habits. And so if we can change people's homes and all that, and go and people that are homeless, then I think it could change their habits and they could live a happier, more fulfilled life. And what I have seen in homeless communities is that they're not being taken care of, and they don't have people wanting to go and try to help them in life, meaning clean and organize, and to actually view them as they're an actual being. And I think that if a lot of the homeless communities I've seen are very dirty, and they're there's a lot of beer bottles and stuff like that. And so if there was a certain company that could go and help them, certain homeless shelters go and do organizing and cleaning in an efficient way, then I think that more and more people would not do those bad habits. So what I have noticed is that let's say you have a big box of cigarettes, and I have tested this on a small scale on people, these types of theories. So I'm not just saying it because I feel like it. I have tested these certain theories on people to see, is this even correct? And it did work on lots of people. So let's say it's a box of cigarettes. So what I do is I would put up a certain word or whatever that they are attached to, certain photo they're attached to, and I would put it up there, and immediately it would stop them doing it. So let's say they watch too much TV. I would go and do the same thing, or put up the remote, or go and let's say they go and obsess over their looks. Then you would go and put something where their mirror is, all the mirrors, and put something that is positive, word, photo, whatever that is, and make them see themselves in that light. So let's say they go and eat too much, I guess. Then you would put a photo or a certain word on the refrigerator, and it would stop them immediately doing it. The reason why they're doing those certain bad habits is because they don't feel good. For whatever reason it's something within them. So you have to constantly remind them, oh, this is the light that you should see yourself. And over time, they'll stop doing those bad habits. So if this was implemented in homeless communities, then I believe that we could stop with those bad habits. Now, habits are what is going to get us to a more happier state, is what I've seen. And once you have your needs met, then things are a lot easier, and you can shift your focus onto something else. So that's kind of what I see. And I think that this is a huge issue, and this is the biggest one. And so what I was trying to do when I began was to go and try to introduce this idea to people, and then gain attraction, and then I would start doing the other entrepreneurship work, and then I would shift onto something bigger and bigger. So when it comes to this, I was thinking that I would start off small, and then each and every entrepreneur endeavor, the money pool would get bigger and bigger and bigger till I could get to something that is a more bigger issue. So the homeless issue, I was starting it in a way where it was not certainly direct, but it was more trying to bring the awareness of this idea out to people. So that's kind of what I was doing. So the next thing that I've noticed, obviously, is healthcare. And I mean, that is, I don't have the specific way on how I think that could be solved. I'm not really sure. But if there was a way where there was a program where people could have that and all that, that would be wonderful. So that way they can shift their focus onto something else than just focusing on affording health insurance, because it's just so much. And people put in so many hours into their day just to have that, when it's ridiculous. It's your entire day goes towards that. Your entire week, month, year goes towards just that, when your focus could be somewhere else. Now, another thing that I've noticed is, just getting like basic needs is rough, depending on where you're at, location-wise and all that, and community, blah, blah, blah. But where I'm at, I guess in a way, it's just everything is expensive. So, but yeah, it's just that if we can go and make sure that people have just basic needs, then the focus could go towards something else and solve a bigger issue. That's what I think. And then another thing is that too much trash. So my first entrepreneur endeavor that I was trying to do was doing the organizing, cleaning, bringing out the idea of psychology into people's homes. And then the second one was that obviously everybody knows that there's too much trash in this world, like, yeah, obviously, and it's putting in the dumps and all that, and then we bury it and we don't do anything else, and then it's toxic land. We all know this, and we just kind of do a blind eye. So my theory is that I think that obviously fast fashion is a big thing, and then once it's out of the trend, then it goes into the wasteland. And what I think possibly, so this was going to be my second entrepreneur endeavor that I was wanting to try, but it's just got to do one thing at a time here. So what I've noticed is that possibly if someone that understood on how to make clothes, so get clothes out of the trash can, wash it, and then go and repurpose it, and then go and make it functional. So each and every single one of the items is functional, and then it could constantly be reused and reused and reused. And obviously, there are companies that do it, but I believe that if it was just a company that only strictly did that, I think that would make a massive difference and all that, because I see plenty of clothes in the trash can, and it's going in the dumps. So I think that if a certain company only strictly did, repurposing clothes, making it functional, and, then I think that there would be less trash. So I know by the end of 2050, we are gonna have more trash in the ocean than in the, we're gonna have more trash in the ocean than fish, the ratio. You can look it up if you want. And so that is what I have noticed, and I've always wanted to be part of something like that, but in a more different way. So I think that if someone went and started a company where it's only just strictly repurposing clothes and making sure that it was functional, so such as let's say it can this has already been invented, I already know that, but it being a tent, it can also form as a tent, or it could be also used as a pot outdoors or something like that, so that way it can always be repurposed, is what I'm saying. And I think that would be really awesome, because a lot of people don't want to go and wear clothes from the trash, which I totally get it and all that, but if it was always repurposed and that is the only thing that they did, they never bought clothes, they only got clothes that were from the trash, or even just items like the nets from, oranges come in a net like thing. So I think that could be repurposed into some kind of clothing item. That's just what I'm seeing. But I think that that would go and help with that issue with the amount of trash and all that, and would go and be more innovative and all that. And I think that if there were fashion shows in the store, then it would be fun to go and get to be sized into whatever clothing that you want, and it can be customized and all that, because once you go and make it, then that's it, because the certain clothes, then you can go and give it back to the company and it can be made into something else. So that's kind of what I envision that possibly could help the issue with trash, and with the amount of trash is going to be in 2050. Everybody knows this, but don't really care. And so I think that could that could help. And I'm not trying to be rude or whatnot, but I think that the person that would go and repurpose these clothes from the trash could model, and we humans are more inclined to go and follow what the other person's doing and all that if they're attractive. That's just how we humans are. And so I think that the person that would go and do these repurposing would would need to be attractive, I guess, to the public. And so I think that doing the fashion shows would be amazing, would go and bring up that traction and go and make people see things differently, and would help that issue with too much trash in the ocean. Now, that was going to be the second entrepreneur endeavor that I was wanting to do, but I'm not sure if I'm even going to get there, because I'm struggling with basic needs. So I think that that would really help, and the money that pools into that would pool into something else. So each of the ideas would keep funneling something else over and over. And something that I have noticed a lot is that a lot of companies, what they'll do is they'll pocket the money and then spend it on bigger and bigger houses, bigger land, and extravagant things, and they don't want to go and they'll reinvest in it, but to whatever small percentage that they can. But in order to go and solve more and more issues that I personally think is that it all needs to be keep funneling into something else, and to go and be able to solve even more bigger issues over and over than just giving out percentage to invest in, and then to go and treat your employees like they're garbage. So I think that I noticed that a lot of companies, yes, they work together, obviously, to make more money. That's why they make billions to trillions to dollars and all that. But I think that obviously the goal is greed, and to have more and more that's in their pocket than to go and work all of the best entrepreneurs together to solve even something bigger, to have a bunch of different types of thinking to work together than just, so if you do, let's say it's just only engineering, well, you're only going to get only engineering or science, whatever that is, but you want more and more of different. So combine the a lot of different ways of entrepreneurship together is what I think. So also what I think is that a lot of people feel unsafe. So the reason why is, well, obviously this is, everybody knows this, but what I'm meaning is that the reason why we follow a pattern, so most people, they are told, you go out and you're going to graduate from college, then you're going to go get a college degree, make all A's, get a job, have that 9 to 5, you're set for life, and then you're going to get married, have children, and then there you go. And then you have grandchildren, then you die. So essentially that is what we are taught. But now it's becoming to a point, people follow that and then they go in debt and then their life is ruined. Or they go and get that 9 to 5 and then they're unhappy and then wonder, oh, what else is there? And so I think that the reason why we follow this certain pattern and you have to do that is because we feel unsafe. So there is conscious behavior and unconscious behavior. And I think that most people are, unconscious, meaning they don't even know they're following a pattern of whatever their past traumas are, and also their just the thought processes and the way you react to things, and also just in your DNA and all that, because there is evidence that things that you're scared of, phobias, it can be passed down by DNA, and you can't explain why you're scared. So some people are terrified of getting in a pool and they can't pinpoint why. Well, maybe it's because it's genetically passed, this phobia. And so I think that most people are unconscious and they don't even know they're following a pattern. And so they go and pick this modern way of thinking. You do your 9 to 5. If you're unhappy, oh well, suck it up, that is it. You have to have children, okay, there you go, and you're expected to be happy. So I think that we go and do these things because we feel unsafe. We're too scared to think outside the box, to say what we really think, to go and get people to think outside the box too, and to go and express ourselves more, and to go and be able to be ourselves and all that. Like if you don't want to, if you want to be out of the norm, then you're looked at like you're a freak. So the reason why I think that we follow this pattern is because we feel unsafe. So something that I have noticed is to wake people up and to make people realize they're doing a pattern and they're they're just doing what they've been taught, and all the voices that is in their head is that you have to go and do affirmations. And people do not want to put in that effort at all. They don't want to, or they just aren't aware and all that. So, and I totally get it. So what you do is you're gonna go and put up affirmations all over the place, and pretty much if you can go and if you're good at predicting their next behavior, then you can go, if you are on social media, then you can send out that message at that particular time. So you follow their social media, you kind of know what they're thinking, and then if you can predict on their next behavior, then you send out that message to them. And I think that people that can step out of their bodies can see what in the world am I talking about, because if you don't understand, then you can't foresee what they're gonna do in the future. So you have to be able to step out of your body, see them from a distance, and you can watch them like a movie and predict what the next thing they're going to do. And we all know that social media does have a certain way to influence others and all that, because people are addicted and all that, because it gives them dopamine. So if you can predict their next behavior based on what they're saying on social media, then you can influence them and all that, and send out that affirmation to get them to be conscious, is what I have noticed. Now, I think that, you can do that in people's homes, and then doing it on social media. And then also I thought of using, so people are addicted to sugar. Obviously, we all know this. You can go look online if you don't believe me. We're all, addicted to sugar and all that. So you can use psychology to go and, use psychology to go and try to change that way of, feeling of unsafe. So what I have noticed, while I have this theory in my mind, is that, let's say at the grocery store, and we have certain affirmations up where it is the bad habits, so where all the sugar is and all the processed foods, and we have it up right in front of them before they put their hand in and get that freezer item processed food. They would wake up over time to realize, this is to go and keep me in my place, and to go and make me do my pattern. And so I keep doing it over and over, and I can't seem to explain why I'm doing these bad habits. So I think that if we had more and more affirmations up all over the place, slowly but surely, people would go and wake up. So what you would do is use sugar intake as a way to get them addicted. So when we have, let's say you go to the store and you see the candy aisle. So if we had affirmation up, so they're going to see it, whatever, they're going to laugh, let them have a laugh about it. Take that item and immediately, let's say M&Ms, they take the M&Ms and they're going to go and keep seeing over and over again that affirmation, because they're addicted to going to that particular part. And so at first, they're going to be laughing probably for a long time, and then they're going to go and realize, maybe this is not a good idea, And so if you have an affirmation, let's say for example, you are loved on, where the candy aisle is, then I think that slowly but surely it will wake them up. I don't really need that M&Ms, whatnot. So that's just an example of what I'm saying. So if we had it up constantly reminding people over and over and over again, you are safe, and you are loved, that's just an example, don't have to be those exact ones, all over the place, then people would wake up and realize, oh, I don't have to go and follow this pattern and follow this way of thinking and all that. I think that more and more people would be more fulfilled in their lives. That's what I think. But you have to use it in a stance where you're using psychology, because people are not willing to do the work. And so you have to do the work for them to get them to wake up, to make them realize that, oh, I don't need to do that and all that. I don't need to go and get all these sugary items and all that. I don't need to go and live this unhappy life going to my job all the time. So every single time you go to your 9 to 5 and it says on the door, let's say for an example of you are loved, it's an example, it could be something else. And I think that more and more people would wake up that, oh, I'm doing this because I am doing what the voices are telling me to do. So that's an example. But I think that if it was more and more up, these affirmations, then I think that more and more people would wake up and would realize, oh, I don't have to do this. I can do what I want. I can be myself. So I have that theory. Now, I'm not sure, am I correct? And I would love to go and use this theory that if this was on sugary items, these certain affirmations, then would it wake up more and more people and make sure that it would link back to whatever message you're trying to do. So something that I noticed, so when I was in college, my teacher, she went and used this as a lesson where you would have to find this piece of paper, and it would be a QR code to whatever platform she wanted you to go, and then you would watch the video and all that, whatever message that is, and then it was a fun activity. And so I think that if we use people that are very addicted to sugar, then more and more people would keep coming back, because it's hitting the dopamine whenever you're eating the sugary item, and it's when you say an affirmation, it hits the dopamine, and all that, and it you're getting a positive experience. So when you're gonna keep coming back over and over and over and over again without being aware of it. So that's kind of what I think, possibly, that more and more people could be aware and be more conscious of their behaviors and all that. So that's my theory and what I have noticed, and I've been wanting to go and implement this and see, is this even a possibility? Am I correct in my thought process of the way people think, and predict on the way that people go and what their next action is going to be based on what they do in their daily lives. So that's kind of what I have noticed, and how I would want to go and use my entrepreneur personality, and also use my psychology skills, and see, is this even possible? Like, does this even make sense? And I know that to some degree this theory does work on people, because I have done it on a smaller scale. I wanted to see if I could do it in a bigger scale of the masses, outside and all that, where it's everywhere. Could it work? Now, I'm not sure, but I know from a small scale stance, yes, it works. Now, another thing is that obviously, I've talked about everyone follows a pattern, And I listened to this podcast called Criminal Makeup, and she talks about people's childhood, the school life, and just about like, you know, how they think and all that. And it's incredible that the way you're brought up and certain, you know, certain things that, you know, like the way right before you were born, also it factors so much of what you're going to do when you're older in life. And it's incredible that majority of the time what I have noticed is, aside from what I have noticed from stepping outside my body and seeing people from a distance, also from this podcast, it really demonstrates that we are all following a certain pattern without even knowing it at all. Like, we have no idea because we're hearing certain voices in our head and feeling unsafe, feeling unloved, and feeling like we have to follow the certain structure of things. So that's just what I have noticed. So we have to break people's patterns, but you have to do it in a way that people are not noticing. The masses are not noticing it at all. So you have to use psychological ways on how to do it. That's just what I have noticed, because if you are blunt with people, they're going to turn away. They're going to think you're mean, you're a rude person, and not want to do anything with you. And so you have to do it in a way where they don't even notice it at all. So that's just what I have seen. Now, I think that a lot of people may view this as a way which is manipulation and very wrong, but I think that as long as you have genuine intentions on what you do, you are fine. You're gonna be okay. But if you use it in a way where it is you know, not genuine, then yeah, you're gonna have a lot of issues in your life, obviously. But I think that, you know, I used to think a lot that I'm just really weird and I shouldn't think like this. And, you know, you're supposed to just, you know, go about your day and then that's it, you know, and then you die. Like, I want a little bit more. I want to explore. I want to go and see, are my opinions correct? Are my thought processes are correct in the way I see people and the way I view the world and all that. And I think that we humans should go and express ourselves and to get our lens out to others so that others can see a different world. That's just what I think. And yeah, I just think that we, as long as you use certain tactics, and I think that people that, you know how to use psychology on others are, you know, they may know some manipulation tactics and all that, but it's just that you have to make sure that you are genuine, or else you're bringing in a slew of issues in your life that you really don't need. And eventually, always the truth comes out on your intentions on things. At least that's what I have noticed. And, you know, I went and talked on my TikTok that I met this person, and she was very similar to me, but the only difference was she had bad intentions, and I learned that, and it was very hard on me. And all she wanted was greed, was to go and use her abilities on manipulation to go and, you know, for greed reasons. And so, you know, there's some people that are really great at it, but then the truth always comes out. It always does. No matter how much you're trying to cover it. I don't care how smart you are. And all that, the truth always comes out. Probably sometimes if you're really good, you know, maybe after you die or 100 years later. thousands of years on later, whatnot. But that's just what I have seen. So always the truth comes out. And yeah, it is really hard when you go and meet people that have not the best intentions and all that, and you see nothing but good in them. So yeah, and then now something else is that we humans are always judged. I've been judged all my life. Like, I've been made fun of a lot and all that. I have discussed it a lot, and I think that that issue was brought into my life was to just overcome it, so I can go and do this, and I can share my opinions, and I could try my best to get people to see things through my lens, and to go and go and be able to share my thoughts and ideas and how to make a better place, and to see growth in someone right in front of them. Because I think that on social media we are all just showing the good parts, and then it just brings in jealousy, and it's not, it all it does is just cause misery. And so I think that if a lot of people that have been judged at the very beginning, like, and all that, just remind yourself, this is what I tell myself every single day, is that there's 8 billion people in the world. That's a lot of people. You can't make all of them happy. Like, you just can't. And then also remind yourself that the human life is what, like max 120 years. So who cares? Everyone that goes and sees you, meets you and whatnot, and has a certain idea of you, like, who cares? They're gonna be dead in the next 120 years. Like, doesn't matter. So I have to view it like that, and don't go and let it ruin your day, your week, month, years, the rest of your life, and all that, because it's just stopping you to go and do what you really want to do. So now, I think that, in my opinion, how money is going, so if it keeps funneling into something else and it's solving a bigger and bigger issue. So the first one was, I was trying to do organizing clean, bringing out the idea out, using psychology, and the article that I talked about, and the way that I thought it should be done. And then the next thing was wanting to use sugar, people that were addicted to sugar, to go and use it as a way to get people to see themselves in a different light. So I was wanting to use it as a lesson. So the vending machine idea, most of vending machines do have sugary items. So if you put certain affirmations on there and link it back to your account, and then do whatever lesson that you want to do, then there you go. I thought that would go and slowly but surely make people feel safe and loved and whatnot, and it would do the dopamine hits and make them even more addicted. And they're doing the self-improvement and to have a more happier, fulfilled life when they're not even knowing they're doing it, technically. So that was my second idea, but right now I can't afford a vending machine right now. Then my other one was doing the third one was the way of with helping the issue with too much trash when 2050 rolls in, and you can look into that. And then also to help with that, I have this theory. Now, I'm not sure if I am correct on it, but if you look at fruit in a different way, then obviously everyone knows it's reusable. So if we went and used it as cutlery and went and sold it, so when people drop them on the ground, then it would just, it would be part of the ground. Because I see constantly, I've worked in restaurants a lot in my life, and there's tons of cutlery that is plastic, and it just stays. and it's not really helping the environment and all that. So I think that if we use certain fruits and vegetables and make it into masses that is quick and fast in a way where it's kind of like Play-Doh, and then you have a machine that does this very fast, then it immediately could be faster, because I think that it's not out because people have not made that invention or so. And yeah, it like the cheaper way to make it in the fast way without people instead of machines, then I think that it would be out more and more. I think that so yeah, I think that if that was a way of using fruits and vegetables, so you go to each restaurant and you say, hey, I want your whatever, your certain thing. So what I think personally is avocados. If you look at avocados very closely, you have the seed, which is very thick, which could be made into cutlery. I have this theory. Now, am I sure? I'm not sure, because I don't have these certain products to go and do it. I don't have the finances to back me up to go and do that. But I have this theory that the pulp of the avocado seed could be turned into cutlery, and then the outside part could be as a packaging, and it could be shipped out. That's what I see and all that, and I would love, if I don't get there and I'm like dead and all that, and someone sees this video, well, maybe it will be out one day. That is my vision, and I hope that that and the clothing thing, it would lessen the amount of trash in the ocean and all that. So that way we don't have that prediction of being correct that there's more trash in the ocean than fish. So that's what I think. And then what else? Sugar. Yeah, so using sugar as a way to go and pull people in and all that, I think that would help people go and live a more fulfilled life. And then slowly but surely, once more and more people wake up and all that, you can transition those items out, the processed food and the sugar and all that, that's keeping you in your place, meaning keeping you in that pattern and whatnot, these bad habits that you don't want to do and all that, but you can't seem to help yourself. I think that psychologically, slowly but surely, could be changed out. That's what I think, and I am making this in a different way, different formats, because I really want this message out. And if I don't ever get to this moment in my life to be able to see possibly, are these ideas correct, and does this even make sense? Could this really go and make people change their thought processes? That's why I'm doing it. And I think that if we went and worked with entrepreneurs, the best entrepreneurs, then we could go and make it so that we all work together for some more and more issues, and we could be farther along in the progress of where we should be as humans. And I think that if there was one building and the best entrepreneurs are in this building, and we have an affirmation of that is floating and that is in the sky, and everybody has to see it, then I think that it would give more and more people hope. So each and every endeavor that this group of entrepreneur does, and make sure that the public knows that it is a sign of hope, that there is a better world out there. It's going to get better, because sometimes it looks very bleak. And so I think that if they made sure that the public understand this is a sign of hope. Because if you looked very closely at what I've been saying, a sign of hope, I think, it's always symbolism and all that. So sign of hope could be light. It could be the American flag. It pushes people to do something that is, you can't even explain it in all that. Is what signs of hope is to push people. So it could be like, you know, if you're in a dark tunnel and you've been stuck there forever for a very long time and you see light, you know, that's a sign of hope. Go and if you know, you are in a very dark place and you meet someone that is kind, that's a sign of hope. If you go and let's say you let's say you're in very bad financial times and magically something happens, that's great. You know, financially you're going to see that as a sign of hope. A dog, sign of hope, you know, gives you companionship and all that and wants to give you love. Or, you know, just animals in general, or you know, just so many things. Trees is a sign of hope, as life, stuff like that. So I think that if we made sure that each and every endeavor was a sign of hope. So for an example, the homeless issue is, you know, if it's solved, that's a sign of hope, right? If the trash problem is a sign of hope. If we made sure every single thing, that endeavor was a sign of hope, then, and we see that big affirmation up, I think then that is a sign of hope, and more people would be pushed to do what they're supposed to be doing in life, whatever course that they're supposed to be doing. So that's what I think, or whatever internally that you feel deeply is what you should, but you feel you can't because you're feeling unsafe and all that, and you're hearing the voices all along of what you're supposed to be doing and all that. You know, I think that if we made sure of that, then I think more and more people would be doing and doing what would fulfill them. That's what I think. And I think that you know, so many things are signs of hope, and that's what's keeping us going, honestly. That's what it is. Or else if we didn't, then we would stop doing everything that we're doing and we would just die, I guess. So yeah, everything that we do is trying to get signs of hope and to go and make a better place for ourselves and all that, and you know, progress more in what we're supposed to be doing, and you know, the evolution of humans and all that. I think that, and yeah, I think that I'm here to go and have people think outside the box, to go and share my story, and to go and see that you don't have to be the norm. You don't have to be. And there's nothing wrong with thinking outside the box, and you don't have to keep everything in. I have kept all this stuff in my head for years of my life because I've been told you should not be thinking like that. That's weird. And you should go and be thinking about other things. And you know what? I'm just like, you know, I'm tired of doing what I'm supposed to be doing and then leaving. When I go to bed, I'm just unhappy because I did what I was supposed to be doing, or whatever the pattern is. And so that's what I've noticed. And I think that we just need more signs of hope for people, to go and push people to do what they want to be doing in life, or what they're supposed to be doing and all that. I think our goal in life is to be more of aware, be conscious of our behaviors, and to you know, obviously being in the present and all that. And you know, it's hard sometimes, especially when you're just thinking about your needs constantly. but yeah, that's what I think. So each and every endeavor is meant to bring some kind of hope. That's what I think. And if the best entrepreneurs can get together, I think that more and more could get done. And make sure that the intentions are genuine. They're not just for greed. And immediately, if this building that, was a sign of hope, and, when we think of magic, I think it's something unexplainable. And I think it's a sign of hope, something that we can't really put into words. So if there's a building that's floating and it has the affirmation up, and the best entrepreneurs are working together to create a better world, then I think that is a sign of hope. I think more and more people would be pushed to do what they're supposed to. And I think that in my lifetime, obviously I can't do it all, and I don't know for certain, are these ideas, does it even make sense? Is this even a possibility? And we're not even there yet. And I think that at least the idea is out and it's a possibility. Because if the idea is not out, period, it's not even possible. Now, once the idea is out, it's a possibility. So, yeah, I want to share this, and I'm hoping to, do this in different formats, and that way maybe my way of thinking is a little more clear to other people, and they can see what's through my lens, because I honestly have gotten some of these ideas, by dreaming and by stepping outside my body, and the way that I went through life, and what I've seen in life, and just my thought process towards things, and I honestly think maybe this is these are things that possibly could help with these big issues and all that. And I know I can't do it on my own. Obviously, I can't. And I think that if the pool of money goes into more and more bigger things, then eventually all that money could go and make homes that are more affordable, obviously. And that pool of money that gets from that would go into homeless communities. And so they could go in there, and that is how it would be funded, I think, was the different forms of entrepreneur endeavors would pool into a bigger pot, and it would go and make sure that there is a company that does organizing and cleaning in homeless communities in a specific way, and would change those habits, and we could help the homeless issue. But it's a huge, huge problem, so it has to be from a small scale. That's what I think. So, you start off, just introducing the idea, and then you do the different problems that I have noticed, and then the pool of money keeps going into different places, and then it can go and fund that homeless community. That's what I think, possibly. Instead of it going into people's pockets, and then they keep getting these extravagant items, whatever the next big flashy thing is, or whatever, to make themselves feel better. And they think they're happy because they make bank and all that. But if you're just constantly over and over it, and then internally deep down you're not happy, the problem is not that you don't have enough money. There's something within you, and the difference is that you understand how money works. The people that made a whole bunch and all that, or you just have it in general, from old money, and you just keep on trying to fulfill your life and all that, by thinking, oh, get more, and you understand the concept of it. You understand how it works by being seen and solving an issue and, you know, working with people and pretending you have good intentions and all that. It's good and dandy, I guess, but it just is, you're just feeding your ego. That's it. And you're not really helping yourself at the end of the day. Obviously, you know that. So that's what I think. And I think that if we have the right people that understand to go and keep funneling it into something bigger and bigger and bigger, and there's that one big pot, it can go and solve something, such a big problem that's even greater than anything I can't even put into words. So that's what I think, and I hope that I explained myself pretty well as best I can. I want to do it in different formats. If you have any questions, just let me know. But I wanted this out there because I want the ideas out. Because I'm not sure if I'm even able to do it all. Like, it's so much and so many theories and so many like, I don't even think I could do it all in a lifetime. It has to be so many groups of people in order to go and, and actually believe in it and dedicate their life to, I think. So yeah, anyway, in order for an idea, or for anything to happen, any possibility, the idea has to be out, guys. And that's what I've learned in life, and you have to be seen. You have to. No matter how much you don't want to, for the longest time, I do not want to be seen because, I've been made fun of a lot of my life. And so, you know what? You just have to remind yourself, there's 8 billion people in the world, and they're all going to die within 120 to 130 years. Who cares? So, yeah, guys, hope you guys like it, and tell me what are your thoughts, and do any of the ideas make sense to you?